Hello, and welcome back to another session by Gravy on Narratives. Today we're going towards the showbiz side, and today Asha J is joining us, a talented singer and songwriter of Asian heritage who hails from the United Kingdom. With a passion for music from young age, Asha J has dedicated herself to captivating audience across the globe with her latest song, Asha for Peace. With this song, Asha J aims to spread a powerful message of unity and harmony through her music. From the moment she discovered her talent for singing and songwriting at the tender age of 8, Asha J has embarked on an unwavering journey to pursue her dreams in the music industry. This incredible journey has culminated in the release of her debut album, Yours Truly. Asha J's unique background as a British born artist of Asian descent brings a refreshing perspective to her music. That is her introduction. And today in this session, we're going to have a candid conversation with Asha J about everything she has done, what kind of people she has worked with, and how was her journey in the industry. And after that, yeah, we're going to move on some other discussion about how we're going to how the issues are faced by young stars in the industry and the struggles they face. Shaji, over to you.
Thank you very much, Asha. It's very nice to see you after a long period of time. I hope you've kept well. We're going to begin. So the purpose of this actual podcast, this show, this stream, is basically to make people aware of what the music industry is about. People come with a lot of dreams. People come with a lot of aspirations, and it's brilliant to have those aspirations. But it's always nice to be a bit careful, be aware, and we're basically going to try and create some awareness. But before we begin to do that, I'm going to ask Asha J to explain how she got into the music industry and with what mindset she went into the music industry and what came out of it and what her journey has been like. So from the very beginning, Asha.
First of all, I'd like to say thank you so much to both of you for having me here today, and welcome to everyone that's joining us today. All my family and friends and fans worldwide, and everyone that's just tuning in today. So my journey started at a very tender age. I come from a very musical family. I have many family members that are in the music industry presently now as well, performing and playing with some very renowned music groups. And it just started my career there, really watching my family members being very productive in the music industry, from having family gatherings at home, being encouraged to perform and sing. I was the only female that really sort of, really became really interested pursuing a career in music. So when I was very young, my father would play the harmonium and sing at events. I became very interested there as well. The music was just jingling in my ears, and I always had this passion of music. And so I started performing first. So before I started singing, I was actually performing dancing. So when I was at school, I would do performances and also some outside events as well. And so it was more of the art side of just performance and dance. But then the music was continuous within family. Whenever I was going to my family gatherings, there was always either a famous artist there. We've had some very famous artists visit our family homes, and ghazal singers. So, and we would sit in a circle and have mehfil nights. And then we would sing, me and my cousin sisters, and my cousin and my brothers would play the tabla, and I would be encouraged to sing. And it just happened from there, to be honest with you. I would say I started listening to a lot of Al-Hayat. She was my inspiration, Bollywood songs, as well as I was listening to Hindi songs and practicing them, learning them. Jagjit Singh Chitra Ji was one of my inspirations too. And then Bollywood music was one of my inspirations. And Al-Hayat Ji just inspired me. Her just sweet, tender voice just carried me away. So I began listening to songs full on in my ears during the day while I was sleeping. I remember the nights when I used to cry at night, say, I just want to sound like this lovely, beautiful angel voice. And, hopefully I can one day, try and, sort of, obviously you can't touch her vocals. She's absolutely amazing. But just the guidance I had from her tone and her singing, I thought, one day I'll be able to just carry some songs through. And being talented in, being diverse in 3 languages, I sing Hindi, English and Punjabi, I was able to cross over my music in 3 languages. And so I began writing songs with inspiration from the ghazals, from the Bollywood music, and just the fusion sounds. I'm always very Western as well in my views as well. I would listen to a lot of pop music genres and house, club, reggae. We're all music I've grown up with back in the, I won't say what years, I'll give away my age, but yeah, you know, I've kind of come from the era where a lot of the reggae was there too, and so I kind of had a lot of pop music in my views. So I thought, why not start writing and fusioning music? So as I was growing up, I began writing, and then, like I said, there was a track called Yours True, an album called Yours Truly. What it first stemmed from was me entering a job, which was in a music company called Jetstar Records. It was a Western music company in London. I was just working there, and I would often meet very, very famous artists that would come through from you know, some of the Western industries. I could name some, but you know, they would just be, you know, some of them just go back a long way. I'm just very happy and blessed that I've been able to touch some of very famous reggae artist albums and vinyls, you know, naming some Gregory Isaacs, Sanchez, you know. It's just been such an amazing time while I was there. And then while I was there, I was actually writing some of my songs during my breaks. And one of the artists who had come for a meeting actually was sitting in the same room as me. I actually noticed while I was writing away and looked at, wanted to have a look at my writing. So I showed him what I shared my poem. It was, he said, this poem sounds like a song. Have you thought about maybe crossing that over into the music industry? And I was like, really? Because it sounds really nice. I thought, okay. So he gave me a contact, and that's where my first song, Break Loose, came. So I thought, okay, why not take this song over to the studios? So I went up to a studio, and originally I had hired someone else to sing the song for me because I had nowhere thought this is an English song. I'm more of a Bollywood, you know, well, Hindi singer really, and I thought this song is not going to be. I'm not going to be able to do this, so I gave it over to someone else to sing this for me. So Break Loose came about from that. So that was my first track I ever released with the help of my family. I had a lot of our families involved in this one, and we got to produce that song, and I actually released that song. I actually took this song as well as so many other songs to a very pioneer of the Asian music industry, Mr. Kuljit Brahmaji. He was able to recognize my fusion music, and we there began in the music industry when he did really, really love what I was doing in the fusion side. I just want to mention one thing. There was one track on my album called Kar Milenge Hum, which is a fusion song, a cover of Janet Kay's Silly Games, which I translated that into Hindi. And I actually reached out to Bali Sagu, and Bali Sagu, one of our renowned music producers, who actually liked the song and actually welcomed me on to come down and work with him on the track. And so I was very, very touched and honoured again that one of my songs that I had, you know, put together when I was quite young, and that was recognised by one of the renowned music producers. But I still went on to work with Kochit Bamra, and we produced our first album called Yours Truly. So that's where my career really started in the industry. So I've got very thankful and grateful for that chance to produce.
That's a lovely beginning. So, after reaching out to Bali Sagu, as far as I know, you worked with Stereo Nation, you've worked with various other artists, and that was when you kind of came into prominence in the local Asian music scene for the first time. So, would you like to go over that part of it?
Okay, so so we're going into fast forwarding now. Many years after that, obviously, I was doing a lot of performances and got to mix with a lot of festivals, music festivals throughout the country, and was performing a lot. And I would say I was introduced to Stereo Nation about, I'd say, Taz. God bless him, he's no longer here, but yeah, I was very honoured and respect that. He recognised my music at one of his events. I went to watch him, actually. I was so fascinated. One of my friends said he's playing at one of his clubs, and would I like to come down and sort of, you know, see them, maybe meet them as well. I was like, really? Yeah, definitely, I'd come down. So I went down to the club, and we met, I met Stereo Nation there. Charles was there with the group. I was introduced by my friend who owns the club, and I was very humbled that Taz came and sat with me at the table. I met the whole group, and I was introduced as a singer. Obviously, I was Asha J and am still. And Taz asked me to sing a song in his ear. So while he was sitting next to him, he says, "So I heard you sing," and I said, "Yes, I do. Well, can you sing me a song?" And I said, "Well, what do you want me to sing in?" I sing in 3 languages: Hindi, English, or Punjabi. And he says, "Well, sing me a song in." First he goes, I'm trying to remember which order he asked me. It probably would have been Punjabi. Okay, so let me sing you one of my songs in Punjabi. Would you like me to hear the song? I haven't practiced it, but he says, "Can you sing me a song in Punjabi?" So it was a very, very noisy club. So I said, "Okay, give me a moment." So I went into his ear and I sang, "Okay, I'm going to sing you, if I can recall this well. Forgive me if I can't completely remember, but it was the Noor Jahan Ji song, Sanu Nair Wale Bolte Bolake, and I had done a fusion to this track because before that I had just released an album called Divana, the album, just prior to that, while I was putting that together actually at that point. So he said, "Okay, sing me a song." So I went, and he's like, "Wow, Asha, that is amazing." So he goes, "Can you sing me a song in Hindi?" And so I went, "Okay, Tum paas aaye, you muskuraye, tumne na jaane kya sapne dikhaye." We went from that, and he goes, "Oh, that's pretty good." So he goes, "Can you sing me a song in English?" So then, okay, let me sing a song in English. So I was trying to think, what am I going to sing to him in English? So I was trying to put together a song in English. So I sang a song in English, and I'll be honest, I couldn't remember actually what song it was, but I actually sang a song in English for him as well. So he was like very overwhelmed. And he said, "Guess what, Asha J, that is absolutely brilliant. Here's my card." I went home that night, and the next day, I believe I got a phone call from them. "Asha J, we love your sound, and we'd love to have you on board with us." I said, "Seriously?" Because I didn't even expect that, to be honest with you. It's like, "We'd like to have you in our group. We're going to be doing a lot of shows across the world, and we'd like you to be one of our singers that will help us promote our songs, our very filmy songs from Bollywood, and we'd like you to be our lead singer." I was like, "Wow." So that's where the career started with Stereo Nation.
Which songs were you part of in the Stereo Nation albums?
Oh, okay. So Nachange Sari Raat Sonia Ve. So just those kind of songs are his famous tracks. So na, 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 na. So yeah, it was just amazing.
So the female chorus and everything which we hear in those songs, which have kind of still kind of become evergreen classicals.
So there was those kind of songs we all sang together, and there was quite a lot, to be honest with you.
So
the
chorus.
He gave me 8 songs to learn overnight.
Can you hear me? I think
I can.
one of us is lagging. Am I audible? Can you hear me?
Yes, Shah.
I can hear you.
Yeah.
Shah, we can hear you.
So what I was basically going to ask you is so the chorus and the female sounds which we hear in those songs, they're basically you for the audience to kind of recognize. So after Taz, which other artists did you go ahead?
So to be honest with you, so while I was touring with Stereo Nation, I have to let you know what happened during that time. I was recording, coming back home. So 1 week I'd be with Stereo Nation, and then coming home, and I was writing my album, Divana, the album. So that's where my actual entry into the industry came. As well as Yours Truly album, we went into Divana, the album. When the first song Divana released, we went on to then do bigger shows back in the UK and across the Millars. So I met a lot of artists. I would say I met Jagged D, met Jay Sean, and you're just trying to recall them. There's a lot of Mex and Tricks. I think you'll can't remember their names. But there was so many artists that were at the events. I can't remember all off my head. Janiji, and just so many artists off my head that I can remember right now. But yeah, there was quite a few that would meet. We would rub shoulders with. It was such a busy time. Wherever you'd go, you'd be backstage. I also went to I just trying to recall all my memories. It was such a long time ago as well, and it's just trying to backtrack now. So yeah, it was just a beautiful experience. But just meeting so many artists like I did was a great experience.
So one of the things which we wanted to touch was basically, as you know, I've seen you over the years. I'll just give people a bit of a background story. I know Asha because I used to sponsor events in terms of corporate and various other places, and she's one of the artists with who I came across, who year after year would be struggling, trying to get herself out there, um, get all those things sorted out, get sponsors, get the events done. But at the end of the day, like it's been a hard journey. Would you say, I don't think you got the response which you actually deserved. But that's my opinion. You might have a differing opinion in regards to that. I remember you hiring different PR people, going through various people letting you down, people over promising. So how much of that would you say could have been easier and other upcoming artists should be aware about?
To be honest with you, I was a independent artist, so basically working solely myself. I didn't have a lot of support, and it was difficult. It was very difficult because having my own record label as well, Asha J Music, it was something I had to learn a lot myself. I've had to pick up. You have to remember, I'm all self-taught singing. No one's taught me how to sing as well as just listening to songs. How do you run a record label? I have no idea. I had to learn that picked up myself. Just go online and learn, see how everyone's doing it, and also I'm a writer, singer, composer, performer. All that I had to do myself as well. So I didn't ask anyone to write my songs for me as well. Only the cover we did for Nutanji, but all the other songs that you will hear online are all mine, composed, written by myself. And it was day and night work, to be honest. It was very, very hard, but because I had that passion and love within my heart and that fight I had in me and that self-belief of sharing the music, I think was very important, that I wanted to touch lives. I wanted to share the diversity with me. And I know it's really hard as a female in the industry alone, being dominated by very, very big into for the male artists, like I mentioned, how I rub shoulders with. I hardly mention any female artists, like I said, I've met. But like I said, it was difficult then having to be very strong. I had to be very strong. You have to be very level-headed, very strong and grounded. Was really hard. I had to carry the weight on my shoulders. And I'll be honest with you, there were days I laughed and there were days I cried. But because I had some really good friends in my life, I just want to give credit to a friend from Sony Music, Carlos, who inspired me a lot as well, who encouraged me in the diversity I had. He was from Sony Music, so he was able to sort of give me a lot of guidance. He did a long career. He was, there behind the scenes. So in this career, you do need to have people you can trust, for females especially, and it can be tough. So you've got to always have your head, got to be headstrong, and you've got to follow your intuition as well, and have self-belief and keep pushing. So it was hard.
So, what do you think could have been better? Do you think the system is not there? There's another thing, like if you look at majority of British origin Asian singers, they made it really big, some of them, but they haven't been able to retain that same kind of dominance, and they don't last for a long period of time. Why do you think that is?
Okay, it's really hard. I think what I believe that there are a lot of producers and artists that are really have made it through the mainstream scene. I'm going to be honest. One of my difficulties were, like you said, getting sponsors and finance behind your projects, especially when you're trying to support yourself in your daily life. And as you know now, with family and a household finances, it's difficult. And unless you have money in this game, it's really difficult. Because when I did reach out, it was about money and it was about paying for songs. and it was big figures. It wasn't a little figure. So I had offers of having music produced for myself, but I had to pay big figures. And then to have them on TV as well, to go for the channels, again, it's money involved. So then you've got to pay a lot there as well. Now, some artists probably know one another, so maybe they have more access because they're well established, and known artists obviously bring in numbers, views, and they will probably have that advantage of being heard and seen. Artists like myself, who's just came into the industry, I felt I was kind of put behind a little bit because financially I wasn't able to pay out big figures to have a big song produced by someone who's just asked me, who said they can do this for me, but this is what you need to do. I'm not the kind of person, also in the industry I was in, I would never sell my soul to the devil. I'm a very honest and humble person. I wanted to be sincere to myself and create my journey myself, not having to pay money to have favors or having to work with men, as we know, would want favors in return. So I had a lot of challenges where I had to make sure that I would just carry on, and if it has to be a hobby for now, just take it in that way, but continue to reach out. It was difficult. You're taking me back to some very, very emotional, unbalanced times in my life, very challenging. So yeah, it was difficult because of that, I would say. Yeah.
I wanted to ask this question. So, as we know, most of our local industry is pretty famous for nepotism. Do you feel like it's very prominent in the UK as well?
Yeah, I just feel like, when you see who's performing, or I don't want to name too much about the moment, but you see it's always the same artist or the same, or oh yeah, obviously, and then new artists who might evolve from other families that are already known, renowned. So how do we get a place there? We're just a little small seed in the background, unless somebody waters us and gives us a chance to come forward. It's not going to work. But yeah, I just feel there is a lot of favoritism. Yeah, those that are really renowned and who have the advantage of contacts and family members that are really established.
So, what about those youngsters who's joining the music scene these days? What struggles are they facing?
I would say they're facing the same struggles. I would say if someone's got talent, and evidently I had told I had talent, otherwise I wouldn't have renowned producers asking me to work with them. We need watering, we need nourishment, we need guidance, we need mentoring, we need gurus. That's what they need. If you see someone who's got talent, why not just give them a break and give them a chance, just the way I did. So my album that I released, Divana the album, back in 2013, I actually had new artists, young artists, young boys that wanted to work with me, and I gave them a chance to just drop a track on my album. Just give someone a chance. I asked for chances just to be, not like I beg for chances. I would never do that. But here's my track. I will send it over. Why not just say, right, yeah, you know what? You really got talent. And I think the artists these days as well that do have talent should just be given that opportunity. If you even feel like they're not quite ready yet, why not give them the opportunity to spend time in the studios for a little while with them and just coach them? Why not coach new artists? If someone said to me, you know what, I feel you need a little bit more coaching. I love criticism. What makes you in what field you're in, but it's not just music. Criticism makes you better. It evolves you, it develops you. If someone said to me, I feel that you can just do a bit more coaching, bring it on. I mean, I'm just saying, I was picked up by Taz, Serenation, one of the most talented artists, pioneer of the industry, music industry. And to have that recognition was big enough for me. Up to today, I can honestly say, if I could go with someone like Serenation, why wouldn't anybody else give me that space? What was the problem? And I just feel like, yeah, sometimes we're just pushed in the background, and it could be down to, just others that are already being recognized because they're related to maybe artists that are already established. Finances, once again. So yeah, and it's just, I think we just get left behind. It's just a struggle.
So do you think, so you're pointing out nepotism, but do you think there's also other things stopping talent as well? Apart from nepotism, I think that's just my personal opinion, being from the other side of the industry, in terms of finance and everything. But I've kind of realized over the years, and I would like your opinion upon it, is that especially when it comes to the Asian music scene, it's not really that organized. You've got a lot of rookies just promising a lot of things and doing a lot of things, which result in a huge amount of waste of time. On top of that, a lot of manipulation. A lot of girls are promised a lot of careers in modeling and whatnot, and they're completely manipulated. Then you've got artists who are performing in melas. I remember some of the melas which I used to sponsor in London, and I'm sure you've performed in them as well. A lot of artists, where the organizers would take the money from the corporate, but the organizers would not be paying the artists. They would not be paying the sound engineers. They
That's
would not
correct.
be paying a lot of people. Go ahead. Yeah, Asha.
You're right. I was one of them, to be honest. I started off the career when I was performing. I was asked to perform for free, so I was encouraged, like, okay, to break into the industry, maybe just do a few free events. So, how many free events can you do? You can't just keep going out, spending money traveling, and all your time investment, and you're not getting paid for it. And I was one of them. I performed for, this is very deep and sensitive subjects we're talking about today. I performed for a couple of companies, and I didn't get paid. And I had a lot of chasing around, a lot of banging doors trying to get paid. And some of them didn't pay me, which was very, very hot. That breaks your heart. And I think that can also break your self-esteem as an artist, your value. What value do you have? If you're not getting paid, you're not being valued, are you? Some of the biggest artists get paid. They've got the recognition, they get paid. We artists that just come in new, we don't sometimes get paid. Why? So yeah, a lot of females do get promised a lot of things, and I did as well. I'm one of them. I'm definitely one person that can speak. I had a lot of promises from again, the males side that would say they can do this for me, they can do this for me, they will do this for me, but it didn't happen. A lot of letdowns, and that can really mess you up. And I've had a lot of mess arounds. I've been messed around a lot, but I
I
don't.
think
You don't talk about it. You come home, you switch off, and you say, because I'm a very, very, very positive person. You get up the next morning, you say, right, I'm not going to let this person. And not every girl or female youngster. This is why I've always wanted to be a role model for those coming into the industry that are very young. How strong are some girls to be able to endure this and keep themselves?
Is
Are we
her
lagging?
yeah, I think you're
Yeah.
lagging a bit, but fine. It will come up recorded. Would you
I
like to
wanted to ask a question.
go ahead?
I would like to. Back then it was different because we didn't have internet. That it was not all over the place. We didn't have YouTube, but now there are independent musicians who are coming on YouTube and doing their own thing. Uh, do you think it adds to the scene? Do you think it's helping the young artists to actually get the recognition they deserve?
My honest opinion, the social media you're talking about, now it's very easy to just put out a song and that. I think, personal opinion, I think it's getting too easy for someone just to produce a song and put it out. Anyone can become a singer today. Like, you can just record a song on there and record a video, and there you go, I'm a singer. I think it's
That's
becoming
right.
too easy. There's people out there, I'll be honest, God bless everyone. I'm a very humble person. I believe, if you can sing, go out. If you've got a dream, go and live it. But make sure you've got at least some talent. You need to, don't just, put something out there that you're going to ruin your career, because you can ruin your career through social media by putting music out that's not quite ready yet, or maybe you're vocally not ready yet. So yeah, it's getting too easy, and every day you have new singers which are not quite, that just need some guidance, I would say. And I'm being honest, I might have been one of them too. And like I said, if someone said to me, "You need more guidance, let's go," I would have gone. So I think social media is making everyone a singer these days. Not everyone, sorry. Many artists that are trying, but just need some support.
But don't you think those people who are getting popular through the social media, if you look at them, they're suffering from the same issues in terms of sponsorships, in terms of manipulation, because in the back end of that social media, it's the same group of people who are basically sitting within the doorsteps of that industry. And it's almost like they have the ticket to promote somebody in a local area or in a country, and that's again where the chaos is. Would you?
Mm. There's a lot of artists out there that I believe are so good. Like you said, they get the views, they've got the talent. So all credit to those that have really got the talent. And like, why aren't they not breaking through? They are just being left behind. I feel like there is a lot of chaos, definitely in the industry right now. Um, how do we solve that? The thing is, there needs to be strategy and constructiveness from music companies. If there's a recognized artist online, even that's getting a lot of views and a lot of recognition, why not just pick them up? And is that what you're meaning? Is that what you're meaning? Your question is? Is that,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Hmm.
you're so basically, how do you see that? So if, for example, a girl or a young guy is being manipulated, at what stage do you think they should realize that they're being overpromised and it's not going to see the light of day, and they should
Mhm.
maybe try a different strategy? Or
Yeah. You know what? You've got to recognize the red flags as instantly. And if you've been let down, so if you've been let down in the first instant, can you really trust anyone? To be honest with you, I believe I'm a woman of my word, and I believe that we should all be our word. Give our word. You give your word for something, follow it through. I believe in honesty, integrity. I'm humble, and I just believe that we should all be the same. What would you do? Would you want that done to yourself? Do as you would do for yourself. If you see a red flag, if someone lets you down in the first instant, I would question that, and I would see it as a red flag. It happened to myself. It's a red flag. I would not go there. I would just make sure you keep yourself mindfully safe, because you can't trust them if going to be let down. So yeah, I think on the first instant you've got to question this relationship and this promise.
so uh, uh, So, with that, I would like to conclude for today, and I would like to add for majority of people who are listening or who are going to be listening, this was just the first show with Asha J. We're going to be looking into the music industry and the showbiz industry as a whole in UK, Europe, USA, Pakistan, India, and elsewhere, in terms of how the funding is associated to it, how people get manipulated, how PR and various other marketing companies come into the whole thing. Where is the talent and how talent is manipulated, not just for struggling artists. There are stories like George Michael, if we look into history for years, who struggled, another amazing singer and amazing talent, huge artist. But even somebody like him had to struggle with agencies and the system in an entirely different way. So this is something which a lot of youngsters in today's world are trying to get into, and we thought that this would be a good series to do. Asha J being ever so kind, like always, has kind of come to the forefront, which usually people don't, in terms of talking about some of these sensitive issues. we wanted everyone to be introduced to her. So that next time, probably we're going to announce it very soon. We're going to have topics based on manipulation, on specific subjects for a good half an hour to 1 hour, where we can basically benefit from her experience. We can look into other people. We're probably going to be inviting other guests who are involved within the system in one way or another. And so with that, I'll pass the mic on to Asha J, and after that, Maham can wrap the episode up for today. Go ahead, Asha.
Just want to say thank you so much for having me here today. And I just want you all to know that are watching today and tuning in. If you have a dream, you have a passion, live your dream, never ever give up, because you wake up one day and say, I wish I had done that. So myself, like I said, I wanted to become a singer. I wanted to perform, compose, write. It was my passion. Please go ahead and never let anyone put you down. Take criticism as a good feedback. Keep trying, keep pushing through. And even if someone says you can't do it, you're not good enough, you can't make it, you truly can. Be independent for now until you get a helping hand. Make sure you can trust who takes your hand. Make sure they're people of their word. And for all the young girls out there, the filmers out there, we will all catch up again. I would like to stay all safe and just be aware of your surroundings, be aware of who you're working with. And once again, God bless you all. Thank you so much. Peace and love to everyone. And that's it for today. And we shall see you again soon. And thank you, Shalix, and thank you, my dear. God bless you. Thank you.
Okay, that was Asha J, guys, and inshallah you'll see her more on this channel. Subscribe to the channel, watch the videos, and follow us for our next stream. For now, we're going to go. Goodbye. Have a nice day. Have a nice evening. And Allah Hafiz. And, okay, bye-bye.
God bless you all. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.